When I first heard the idea, just the basic one-sentence idea of the story, which is Jesus as a child coming to the realization of who he is, I thought, that's never been done. I think it's an original, fresh take on the Jesus story. And if I felt, there's been plenty of Jesus stories about him as an adult that glorify him, I also thought, why not a movie about him as a child that glorifies him? We also wanted to make sure that in the story of him as a child, while portraying him as a child, we're seeing those touchstones that sort of defined the man and his ministry. Compassion, an open heart, a sense of forgiveness, a child, while at the same time sort of wise beyond his years and very all-encompassing in his approach to other people, to a sense of mercy and just, wanting to help the downtrodden and the dismissed of society. And those moments were key to, I think, portraying him as a child consistent with him as a man. Being a faith-based story, and Chris being a faith-based person, I knew that it was going to be, for lack of a better word, protected. And in Hollywood, movies like this aren't always easy to make happen. And what you want to make sure is that you're aligned with people who are going to help you make the best possible movie. And I have to say that that's been the experience. We found an extraordinary child in London, Adam Greaves-Neal, who comes from a Christian family, a faith-driven family. And I remember the first phone call I got was from the casting agent in London who said, we just had a child come in here who made the hair stand up on the back of our heads. And I said, please send me the tape, let me look at it. And of course, I was blown away. And then I flew to London and saw him. He did multiple auditions for me in the room, and I realized this was him. I think Vincent Walsh is a wonderful Joseph. We were just thrilled with Sarah Lazaro as Mary. And one of the first things I wanted to do was, when we brought them in to rehearse together, was also to connect them up with young Adam and everyone to really start to feel comfortable with one another and care about one another. And it's funny, I think perhaps God was looking out for us because they really did connect, and they almost connected immediately. And I feel it really worked, and I feel they're believable as a family. Fundamentally, we wanted to make a faith-affirming movie that the whole family could enjoy. And also, I've heard from a few pastors that I've talked to that one of the things they constantly think about is, how do you pass faith on to the next generation, to your children and to their children? And I thought to myself, this is kind of a perfect tool for that, because you're seeing Jesus as a child, and you can take your children to see this movie and see this child who is full of compassion, who is full of warmth and emotion and embraces the world around him, and who is very much consistent with the Jesus in the Bible. But he's a child, just like the children watching the movie. And I feel like they can connect to that and embrace that.